Mortal Kombat! Sub-Zero, Scorpion's barely in the movie though. Kinda makes me sad, but he's still so freaking awesome, yeah! The summary of Mortal Kombat is this. It's centered around the character of Cole Young, which I guess is a new original character in the Mortal Kombat universe. And it just follows this regular kind of Joe Schmo guy who happens to have a birthmark that has a dragon logo on it, and he, I guess, is one of the chosen people that are to fight in Mortal Kombat. To be honest with you guys, I don't know the lore. I was a fan, especially when I was a kid, of the video games. Then I stopped for like 10 years, and then I recently started playing the new Mortal Kombat game. But yeah, I don't know really anything about this lore. But I have to say, I was thoroughly entertained by this film. The action in this film, especially with the scenes, specifically in the beginning and end, with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, is by far some of my favorite combat, hand-to-hand, just amazing powers with ice and fire and swords jumping in people's faces, heads getting cut off, people getting stabbed in the chest, blood squirting everywhere. I know, I'm a sick person, but I love it when movies do this, and it does not disappoint when it comes to the blood and gore in this film. It is amazing. Well, I guess I'm already in my pros. The next thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was some of the characters, but specifically the one that I really loved was Kano. Kano was hilarious. I had no expectations with this character because, like I said, I don't really know the lore. So with Kano, I just thought he was a funny Australian guy based off the trailer and the video games. But my God, he is hilarious. Almost every single joke that he says, almost every single joke, is comedic gold. Please bring him back for the sequel. Please bring him back because he was by far the most entertaining character in this film. And another character that I really loved and I want to make sure that I give a shout out for is Sub-Zero. He was really haunting in certain scenes, and I really liked the horror kind of element that they brought to him, because there was these moments where you would see ice come up, and it just felt like this weird, creepy film, like you knew he was coming, and he was coming to kill you and get you. And I loved it. It was so cool to see these characters come to life, especially Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Now, Scorpion would have been my number one, but he just wasn't in the movie as much as I wanted him to be. But other than that, he's definitely in my top 3 favorite characters in this specific film, because he's just awesome. I really hope he comes back, and I'm assuming he would come back in the sequel. He would have a lot more scenes. But anyway, Scorpion was awesome. I thought the way he killed people was so cool, and the way they brought his character back to the ending and how it all connected to the story was just absolutely brilliant. And the other thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was kind of the pacing. Like, it wasn't boring. There was some uninteresting moments, maybe here and there in the first half, but there really never was a moment where I was like, God, can this movie just pick up the pace? No, the pacing was fine. There was literally something always happening. And even though maybe some of those things weren't as cool as other sequences, they were still engaging. Now, to move over to the negatives, there was just some weird transitioning in the film. Like, it would take place in a normal city setting, and then all of a sudden it would be on top of a mountain with godlike beings. I don't know. To me, that was jarring, and maybe for some Mortal Kombat fans, that's not jarring. But like I said, I don't know the lore, but it kind of took me out of the movie. And even though the action is fantastic, one thing that I hate is jump cuts, but not just regular jump cuts, multiple jump cuts in a fight scene. I love wide shots where they just show you the whole scope, and they did that sometimes, but the issue was they kept on doing different angles, like literally every second, and that kind of gave me a headache. And the last thing that didn't quite work for me was the acting for some people. Cole Young, Sonya, it didn't feel real. It felt like they showed up on set, said some lines, and that was it. Now, obviously, Joseph, that's what they do. They show up on set and say lines, but I didn't feel it. It literally felt like they didn't read the script at all. They came to set the day of, when they were supposed to film, read the line, and went like, Mortal Kombat. That's not spelled right. I don't know. To me, it just didn't work. And I take that back. This is the last negative. Cole Young is not an interesting character. I understand that they were trying to have a new original character invoked into this franchise, but when you have a boring character compared to all of these other characters in this universe and you don't decide to go with them, why? Overall, this is a very entertaining film. It is not bad, but it is not an amazing film as well. It's a very good video game film, and I believe that deserves some praise. I'm going to give Mortal Kombat a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching my review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please don't forget to be blessed.